Hello, everyone. I am author Scotty McCoy. I am also the chairman of Gravestone Films, and I am also the director there and executive producer. And I am conducting an interview with a local upcoming artist. She goes by the name of Inna, and she has a couple of songs coming out and some big projects coming up and everything. And I am going to be conducting an interview talking about her as an artist. And also, she's starring in a couple of my films as both musical and acting talent. So we're going to be doing that, and this interview will be able to be viewed on YouTube and on our Facebook page for the video and audio aspects, and it will be going to iTunes and Spotify for the audio version. So please welcome my guest, Inna.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
So here we go. So I have a couple questions I'm going to be asking you regarding your career as a singer and actress and all that stuff. The first question I got for you is what made you want to start singing for a living?
Well, I started singing when I was about 5, and when I just grew into it. It just happened not happened out of nowhere. I was singing for like a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, might as well make a living out of it. Everyone tells me I'm good, so
All
that's
right.
what we're going with.
Sounds good. And you do have a good voice. For those that haven't heard her on Facebook, she does, and even on YouTube, she has amazing vocals. And check out some of her work on her in a page on Facebook or on YouTube and everything. So I have a pretty tough question here. See
Oh boy.
how she can answer this one. This is a pretty tough one for those that don't know. So we know that you have autism, and you plan on using that to differentiate yourself from those successful singers that don't have a disability. Some of those singers that will include Taylor Swift, Kelly Clarkson, and Mariah Carey, for example. So, how can you use autism to your advantage to stand out from the rest of the singers that I previously mentioned and the countless other singers that have already established themselves so that you also can become just as big as they are, regardless of your disabilities?
See, now I had to overcome a lot of obstacles. Not like them because they're just, I wouldn't say normal, but they don't have many disabilities. So, what I'm doing is I am overcoming every odd that I can and hopefully moving forward
Mm-hmm.
and going the distance
Right.
because I want kids that have disabilities to know it's okay. You can do anything you set your mind to.
Exactly right. And that's the thing. Like, a lot of people don't realize it might be harder having a disability, but succeeding it with that obstacle there shows that you can do it. Now, why can't they do it? You've been told that you can't do that you won't be able to make it big. But look where you are. So if they're being told the same thing, don't let bullies anybody, tell you can't do something, because you can always do something.
Yes, and also I'd like to add that even though I was like, they're like, oh, you'll never get a record deal or you'll never do any of that, but I've already overcome that. I'm on a record label. I'm
Mm-hmm.
working with Scotty here. He's
Yep.
great with the production crew. I have a great team, and they're just great.
Exactly. So the next question I have is you are going to be performing some songs for Gravestone Films, which, for those of you that don't know, I am the owner of that production company. And you are also set to appear in a slasher horror comedy called Samhain, as other people call it based on how it's spelled, Samhain. What do you think the experience would be like in a non-horror movie as a musical guest, and how will it be different from acting in a horror comedy film?
It's a very good question, Scotty. And I don't really have the answers yet, but I'm hoping I can in the future because I've never acted yet.
Right.
But I mean, it's going to be hopefully a great experience. It's exposure. Everyone, my name will get out there, and
Right.
your name will get out there, and it should be a very great experience.
Exactly. And the big thing about being from musical, being a non-musical, like a musical guest, in a non-horror non-horror film
Yeah.
project and acting project, it's just like it's basically the same thing. And when you're in a like singing in a movie, you're in the movie, so you are acting. You're remembering lines, so you're technically acting, but you're not. You're just not like you're vocally acting, I guess you could
Yeah.
say. You're singing it.
Yeah.
That's like, look at musicals, you know, the musicals of Cats and Rent and all those different musicals
Yeah.
out there. Like, they are acting, but they're singing while doing it.
Yeah.
So, like, you can always use your musical background to help your acting career, and your acting career to help your musical career while in movies.
Yeah. It's
which
great.
is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on performing soundtracks and songs for upcoming film projects that Gravestone Films will have in store?
I'm willing to do whatever they tell me to do. I'm willing to go the distance and get it all perfectly done.
It's exciting, right?
Yes, it's great. I'm so excited.
Let's see. What are your own personal thoughts on how fast your career is actually skyrocketing in the past, year or so, or even longer than that?
Well, see, I was actually at the recording studio a couple days ago, and we were talking, and my voice coach played a video from 2005 and from now, and wow, is there a total difference. I sound more professional. I've grown in the process, and everything's happening so fast. And there's like, people are like, oh, it's not going to happen so fast, but it is. Like, and you don't really get it until it actually happens. It's happening so fast.
Right.
I'm going to Nashville in October and singing at the Schuylkill County Fair. Like, all these offers have been coming.
Right.
And just, I'm taking it all graciously.
Right, and it's big because, like, the thing is, it's never going to, like, you're not going to succeed unless you actually work to what you get to. You're not money's not gonna be handed to you. Fame is not gonna be handed to you.
It's a lot of hard work.
Like, you're not gonna be singing. When you're singing, you're not just doing nothing. Like, it's not just your record producer. You have to memorize the lyrics. You have to know the notes. You have to know this, that, and the other. And without doing that, you're not going to get that handed to you. You have to work hard, and it's not just what you do in the studio. You got to do it outside of the studio. So when you get to the studio itself, you're prepared, and that's the same thing involved with acting. You might be like, oh, I'm just going to be singing the song. We'll have multiple takes because we don't have a live audience. It's not like it's on theater, but you're wasting people's time, and that's where you got to practice. And a lot of people
nail it.
Exactly.
You got to have it ready. I mean, for an example, I started at 9:00 at nighttime and did not finish till 3 or 4 in the morning.
Right.
And it's strenuous and it's a long time, but the payoff is just.
And a lot of people don't
great.
realize how hard and how much time it takes. Everybody thinks, oh, I could just write a song and make it rhyme and just sing it, and because I have a good voice. But it's not what you think is good because you have a good voice. It's what people want to hear.
Yes.
And that's one thing I was taught when I was, when I started learning about directing and production stuff when I was associated with trash television. Yes, what a name, ain't. When I was assigned with them, they taught me the one thing is that that you grow by producing things and practicing and just working so hard, because without the hard work and the hours put in, like, you're not going to get anywhere, and you got to take one step at a time. And sometimes it can be strenuous, and I know how hard that can be personally, and I commend you on it, because singing alone is not easy. Like, you can't just put, like, lyrics together and be like, oh, I'm a good singer, I can make it. It's not what you want to work, it's what other people want to listen to. Because if you're singing a song and it doesn't approach me as a singer, as a fan, like, I'm not going to want to buy your album. So it's not what does Tiffany like, or what your fans like, and you won't know what they like unless you put out an album and get their feedback, and you take in both the positives and the negatives and make it into a CD that accommodates everybody.
And the best part is I've already started working on Twitter with my fans, talking with them and getting to know them before the CD comes out.
Exactly.
If you relate to your fans, that is great, because you have a special connection with them.
Exactly. So the next question I have is, we're gonna head back to a little bit of autism discussion, and say did anyone tell you that you would not achieve success with having autism? And also, without naming any names, because we don't want to get anybody angry, and also using PG related terminology, we want to know what words do you have to tell them based on where you are now in your career, and when based on, like, they told you weren't going to succeed, but now you are succeeding.
Yes.
So what words do you have to tell them to show them, hey, you may have said this, but look where I am now?
Yes, wow, that really hits home because a lot of people said I was just not gonna make it. Well, guess what? Like I am doing this now, and everyone's seeing it. So I really don't have a lot to say because they're gonna see it and they're gonna be
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, I said really hurtful things to this girl,
Yeah.
and look at her now.
Yeah.
She's flying high."
Exactly. And the one thing that is the best part about it all, and this is I always get a crack out of this because it's hilarious. But like the best part is that your fans are your bullies. Like
I
they
know it's so funny.
like you go to like when I went to Boyers a few times or when I go around a few times, I get fans coming up to me and like they're asking me to autograph something. They're the people that bullied me in high
Oh
school.
yes,
So I
I've
find
had
I
that.
and obviously one piece of advice you don't want to do is you don't want to turn them back. And
No,
that's something that is hard to do because of how they hurt you so much in the past.
and
Yeah.
that's a struggle.
Hmm.
It really is.
It really is.
I mean, I was at I think I was at Walmart a couple weeks ago, and my friend, well, not a friend, I'd say of an acquaintance that really hurt me several times,
Right.
and then became friends, and then it like separated again, and then she comes back to me, she's like, "Oh my god!" and she's shaking and getting all
Right.
excited. She's like, Can I just have your like just like a picture, a selfie with you?" And I'm
Right.
like thinking, should I really give it to her? And I'm like, yes, I need to stay humble,
Yeah.
and I have to
Yeah.
give back, and just it's okay to like be upset still
Yeah.
inside, but you have to overcome that and just be
Right.
gracious.
Because one thing you have to remember, without that person, even though they hurt you in the past, they're the ones that are bringing money to your pocket. They're the
Yep.
ones making your career what it is because they would be classified as a fan. And the worst part is that it's like you don't want to do it because they hurt you, but without them, you would be nothing. And
Yes.
if you were mean to that one person because of the anger they gave you, then it would be to the point that they can blackball you to other people and get you, they could ruin your career at that point. Like, look at what happens to all these celebrity leaks. Like, they say one bad thing before they're famous years and years and years
And then it
ago,
comes back to
and then it
haunt
comes
them.
back to haunt them once
Yep.
they are famous. And then it's like now their career is tarnished. They're in the public eye, and now everybody is getting wind of what happened. And that's one thing that you, I, and other people that are upcoming
Yeah.
that are trying to make a name for themselves and everything have to realize that yes, it's okay to be angry still, but always take the high road. It always takes a stronger person to take the high road and be nice and humble about it, and pretend like all of that's in the past, even though if it bothers you, because in the end you're being the bigger person.
Yes, and it's very hard
Yeah,
sometimes,
it
but
is. It is.
we have to do it.
Exactly. Okay, so next one I have is what would you personally tell anyone who hasn't heard you sing? What would you tell them on why they should listen to your music and become a supporting fan based on your musical talent and vocals?
Well, that's a very good question, Scotty. Actually, you want to get to know they're not called your fans, they're more now your friends. You want to
Right.
make friends with your fans so
Right.
you can have more of a personal relationship with them than just
Right.
a fan relationship.
Right.
I know that sounds kind of weird,
Right.
but it's just so they
Yep.
can know
Mhm.
you and you'll know them.
Right.
But then like you start growing relationships. You don't put the music out there right
Right.
up front, but you work into it. Like let's say they see you on Facebook finally. Oh, that's nice. So you can watch my videos. I'll send you some videos, and
Right.
I like to send some of my fans personal messages like on
Right.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Just know I'm thinking of them.
Exactly. That's true. But let's ask this, and it's more of a what's the word I'm looking for? One of those rhetorical questions. But how about any stalkers yet?
I'm not gonna say names. No, I don't think he's a stalker. I just think he's a very big fan.
Right.
He's always commenting and always loving
Right.
and always saying very nice things
Right.
about me. I wouldn't call him a stalker.
I,
He's
I
just
was
so,
I was
he's
joking
just- he's
about
so
that because we were
sweet.
talking about the Taylor Swift stalker angle where she got that face recognition software to determine if any of her stalkers that got arrested for all that situation was at her concert. So had to mention that to her. A little inside question type joke. So next question I got for you. It looks like I have two more on here. So we know you, Inna, are the vocalist of your brand, your group. And for those unaware, I am the person that is her, like, I work for Gravestone Films. I'm not working with her record company. What is it again?
It's Captain Blue
Right.
Records.
So I'm not like I am affiliated with them through Gravestone Films, but we're like affiliated and associated with each other. But I am on my own company brand name of Gravestone Films, and so I am her video editor, her director. I'm the one that goes around filming things, doing her like photography, all that different stuff, and it goes through the Gravestone Films name. And the music obviously goes through the music company itself, and then together we make a video that works in terms of music videos. But so that's what I do through Gravestone Films on behalf of the Inna brand. But there are other people associated with the Inna brand. If you want to, I think there's two more if I'm not mistaken. If you want to let us know who they are and what they do, so we can give them a shout out.
Yes, actually, Taylor Sapp, he is my music producer. I'm on his record label, Captain Blue Records, as we said, and there's my fiance John Andres.
Mm-hmm.
He's my manager, and Scotty over here is helping me out too. And I have a great team. I couldn't ask for such a better team. They're always there for me.
Right.
You're always looking out for my best interest, and it's always good to be friends with your crew, because not why would you not want to be friends with your crew?
Exactly.
Like, because it'd be miserable. Like, we go on tour,
right?
And it would be miserable, and because you're not friends. You might as well be friends.
And that's the thing. Like, you wanna associate your brand with somebody that you are. That you trust. That's like with Gravestone Films, my executives. They're personal friends of mine that I've known for years and years and years. Like, my two executives I've known for a good 8 to 10 years. Like, I've known them. So that's the thing. Like, you wanna associate yourself with people you trust, because if you don't, or you put somebody as an executive role or somebody in with you that you don't know that well, you don't know if they're stealing from you or if they're gonna take your music. I mean, obviously you can get attorneys involved with all that if they, broke any contracts or anything. But obviously you want to associate your brand with the most trustworthy people you can, because when you want to start small and then grow. You can always hire people by interviewing them and doing casting calls, whatever. You can always do that with people in the end when you get to that level of fame and fortune and all that stuff and success. But you want to always start small, and that when you start small, you always associate people with who you know and you trust, and you can actually so you don't waste your time. You're not wasting your time, your money, your everything like that.
Yes.
So I think you have a good brand put together, and right now you're upcoming. You're small right now, but there's nothing wrong with being small.
No.
There's nothing wrong with being small, because I always say, why would you want to grow big?
Yeah.
Why would you want to grow big? Because then you're starting from the top. I would like to work my way up to things.
Yeah.
See how I progress.
Ladder.
Exactly. And we're working on a little documentary for Inna. I'm directing it and producing it through Gravestone Films, and on top, when we do that documentary, they're not long documentaries.
No,
they're maybe between 2 minutes and 10 minutes at most. And then we upload each of them, and maybe eventually we'll paste them together.
Yeah.
But doing that is showing you starting very small, basically at the bottom of the barrel. And when you watch the video as it keeps going on and on as parts, it keeps getting better. You see yourself grow from the beginning. You see how high you're becoming and how big you're getting. And that's the best part about it, because you get to see yourself starting at the bottom and working your way up through videos that have been filmed on each and every day that you're going through this process, and it's great.
And people are going to be like, "Oh, I can't wait to see the next one."
Exactly.
They'll be like, "Oh, yay! What's the next adventure?"
Exactly. A lot of people have been, and that's another thing I have to do later. Actually, is I have to put that documentary on YouTube. I don't think I did that yet, but I did put it on the Gravestone Films fan page. I shared it a few times. I don't even think I put it on Twitter yet, to be honest with you. It's too long for that, but I could share the link. But we'll get that out there as well, and then we're probably gonna be doing maybe a little video today. We're not sure yet, for anybody that wants to see it.
We're gonna take some pictures. So
we're gonna take some pictures and everything after this interview concludes, and you can go to Facebook. You can go to Facebook's Inna page, or you can go to. I'll probably post the pictures on my fan page, facebook.com/justmccoyauthor, and any videos that are directly through Gravestone Films associated with Inna will go on the Gravestone Films fan page that you can like at facebook.com/Gravestone Films. So let's wrap things up with the last question, and this give you a little promotion and see if you can have any upcoming concerts, projects, songs, or anything at all that in the works that you are legally and not legally able to promote and not are not contractually obligated to not allowed to talk about, but let people know of what you are working on so they can look out for it and keep an eye open.
Yes, I'm going to be singing at the Schuylkill County Fair. I'm not sure what town that's in. I think it's outside of Auburn.
What date is that?
It's August 2nd, and the shows are at 5:30, and then there's another one at 6:30.
Okay.
It's going to be all country because that's what we're about.
Yes, it is.
And I'm going to be singing one of David Spittler wrote the song, and I'm going to be owning it shortly, and it's called You Got Branded, and you'll see me with my cool branding iron. It's going to be a good time, and,
Yep.
and Scotty's going to be there.
Yep.
You can meet him
Yep.
if you'd like, and me, and it's going to be a fun night.
Exactly.
I'll
I'll be there doing a lot of photography, maybe some video recording. I'm not going to record obviously the whole concert because you would have to come to see the
Yeah.
concert. I will record bits and pieces to start to hype up her performance at the concert, and we'll do that. You obviously have that song going. We have another song you're working on that I don't think we're contractually.
No, we cannot talk about
we're not contractually
you
allowed to
will.
do that, but you will hear about that, and we
will
will be
hear about
making a music video on that as well. I'll be directing that for you. So keep an eye out on the Inna page and on Gravestone Films and all that stuff, and you'll be able to see that song when it's released. I actually heard it the other day, and I'm really excited to be directing that, and
It should
I'm
be
so
a
excited
great
to
time.
see you in the recording studio doing it.
And we'll
Yeah.
actually have some really good footage on the 28th.
Exactly.
Because I'll be in the studio and Scotty will be there and
Yep.
we'll be recording.
Exactly.
It should be a great time.
It'll be fun.
Great pictures to get, so
Exactly.
it should
I think it'll be great.
be
So
pretty good.
yep. Do you have
Don't
anything
forget
else?
to follow me on Twitter, and that's INA for Inna, INA capitals. And then I also have I think an Inna page on Facebook. And then if you want to add me personally so you get to know me, it's Tiff Maley Inna on Facebook. And then I think it's still Tiff Maley Inna, or it could just be Inna on YouTube. So
Exactly.
definitely check them all out.
Sounds
I
good.
post all my upcoming videos, shows, and productions on
Right.
those pages.
And last thing I want to add, I don't know if you have Instagram or not.
I do not have Instagram. I should probably get that.
I do have Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram as Scotty McCoy, and I'm under the author moniker, not Gravestone Films, and I have an Instagram TV channel set up on Instagram where I posted her music video for what was it, Britney Spears's, what was the song?
Hit Me Baby One More Time.
No. The Christmas song.
Oh, All I Want for Chris. No.
It's something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's got another name, but I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But yeah, she did that, and we did a music video, and that's
that was
actually
so fun.
It
That
was, and that
fun
was my
time.
idea. And when we did that,
Scotty was so good at it.
and when I ended up posting that, her record,
Record
music
label saw
producer
it
and the record label, they saw it, and they that's when I ended up becoming an affiliation with them. So technically, they say social media is a good marketing platform. It's all free. It really is. So for those that are trying to make a name for themselves, remember
definitely give it a
social
shot.
networking. You can go to my Instagram page, and I have under Instagram TV. You can view the music video. I will also be posting the documentary part 1 on there as well for those that are interested in seeing that. That is on Gravestone Films fan page already. It'll be on YouTube later, and also I'll post a link on Twitter. But thank you, Tiff, for
Thank you,
having this
Scotty.
interview. So
Thank
thank you
you.
very much. And I guess that's it for this interview. So for those that want to see Tiff, you can see her at the Schuylkill County Fair. I'll be there. Her manager will be there, and
My voice coach.
Yep, come
Everyone
out.
at the gang's all there.
Exactly. So come on out and support her. I think there will be a donation bin, right?
There will be a donation jar.
So if you want to donate anything, so we can make her career even get bigger, we can do that. Just come out and support her. Keep a lookout for the song that I kind of teased earlier. Can't say what it is yet, contracts, but I will let you know that it is something that you will not want to miss. We're gonna make a music video. Keep an eye out, and want to come see her get branded and see all that stuff. And thanks, guys. Author Scotty McCoy here. This will be posted on the Slasher Scotty iTunes and Spotify, and you can come out and support Tiff. Support the local talent in the Skook.
Skook.
Exactly. All right. So this wraps up the interview. I'm Scotty McCoy, and we thank you for listening. And stay tuned for my other pages for other interviews I have with other celebrities.